Welcome back to Boxing Bookie. We are back. It's good to be back. Got a good one for you today. Hope everything is going well. I sent the link out to Chilltown Boxing. Hopefully he joins us. Let me check on that. Oh, he wanted to join the Patreon. I read his message. I thought he wanted the StreamYard link. He wanted the Patreon link. Chilltown Boxing is now a proud Patreon as well. So I appreciate that too, guys. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. Join the Patreon. Just $5 a month, like Chilltown Boxing does. Get the absolute best gambling advice anywhere in the boxing universe for just $5 a month. Get locked a week. Get asked to bookie anything. My man must get asked to bookie anything. Get the prop lock of the week. Get the updated props. Get all the best gambling advice. And after you guys do that, head over to carnivalbar.com. That's carnivalbar.com. Use promo code BOXING at checkout to save 10%. It's a meal in your pocket. It's the world's only high-fat, grass-finished beef bar that replaces a meal while on the move and stores for years to get your travel, autonomy, and freedom back. It's carnivalbar.com. It's the nutrition of a steak, the convenience of a bar. Use promo code BOXING at checkout to save 10%. All right. So we're going to dedicate the show to the Davis card. Chiefs Rob me, shake my head. The NFL is rigged. The NFL is rigged. 79 Pro says, I promise Mason is punishing Jameis. He couldn't even handle Rolly. He got shut out. All right. We're going to spend this. What up, Pablo? We're going to spend this show on the Davis-Berinchyk card. It's a good card. We can make some money on this. I'm excited for this. I'm going to take any questions, comments, thoughts, super chats as well. Guys, let me know what you have. But I want to spend this show specifically on that. I've dropped the video. Abdul is not losing. He's not losing. Abdul is not losing. Guys, check out the video. All right, let's just kind of recap what we're going to get into for this week first. So I'm working right now on Dorate and Medueno. That's going to be out either tonight or tomorrow. Then I'm going to do Catterall and Barbosa. I'm going to work that one. I'll have that out Wednesday. I'll have Barrett and Jazza Dickens. That'll be out Thursday, and I'll do one more video. I'll do Melanicki, Connor Coyle. Those are the ones that I'm interested in. All right. Nico Ali Walsh, sorry about that. You will not be part of it. I'm also working on the Patreon, the lock of the week. This is what I'm thinking so far for the lock of the week. This is not locked in yet, but Keyshawn moneyline, Abdullah moneyline, Xander Zayas moneyline, Dorate moneyline gets us to minus 175. I think this is super, super safe, guys. 4-leg parlay, Dorate, Zayas, Mason, Davis. I don't think there's anything risky here. The riskiest one to me, I would say, is Keyshawn. I guess. Keyshawn? Is that the riskiest one? I like this a lot. What do you guys think about parlay? What do you guys like better? I'm going to ask this. I'm going to ask this in the chat. I'm going to put this in the chat too. Let me address some of these. Oh, sorry, my boy Chilltown is here. What up, Chilltown?
Bro, what's up, man?
Well, you've been sitting there for a while? Sorry, that's my bad. Were you sitting there for a while? Okay.
No, I just got on now. I was asking about the Patreon link, and then you sent me a live link. I didn't even know you have a live, which is cool because it worked out. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. It's good. I'm glad you could join us. So I'm going to put a poll, but I want to get your opinion first. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. What's a better lock, would you say? if we're adding it to a parlay, Oscar Duarte over Miguel Medueno money line at -750, or what is Zelfa Barrett? Hang on, Zelfa Barrett at -750. The same thing over Jazza Dickens. What would you say is more of a lock?
Man, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of either of them. With the price, probably right. Jazza. This is my problem. I'll tell you right now. I was so Oscar Duarte. I had such a heavy bet on him over Regis Prograis. I thought that was gonna. I think this is actually a harder fight. And Oscar Duarte was like -300 against Regis Prograis. And now that Medueno, by the way, he opened up at like -1,000. People have been putting money on Medueno. I think this is a lot tougher fight for Oscar Duarte than Regis was gonna be. Just because Miguel Medueno is this, I think is at like 143 pounds. Miguel Medueno, this is a style where it's going to suit both fighters. Like, this is what I was telling you with Pitbull Cruz and Angel Fierro, right? Yeah. I was like, don't be surprised if this fight is way more competitive than the odds are going to say. And it was like a 50-50 fight come to you. We didn't know who was going to, at the scorecards were getting right. I thought it was very even. I think this is a lot more even. My thing with Regis was he had been knocked down in 3 of his last fights. Each fight, he kept getting knocked down by guys that weren't punches. I was like, Oscar's going
Devin Haney,
Duarte, Daniel Lito Zerillo, and then Jack Catterall. I'm like, Duarte's going to walk through this guy. His punch resistance is gone. But Miguel Medueno's a big 140-pounder. And, I just... Yes, I think Duarte was going to win. I don't like the price. And to point to Zelfa Barrett, I thought Zelfa was losing against Jordan Gill before he got the knockdown. I thought that was way too close. For the odds to lay the money on. Now, Jazza is also not even a 130-pounder. He's a 126-pounder. So, yes, I think Zelfa should win and Duarte should still win. Are they locks, though? I think there's a chance that they could look a lot closer. See, that's the thing. If they're -750 and when the fight starts, if it's going to be that much closer than I think the odds are, I think the odds might be off. So,
we get better odds on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Jazza Dickens. I was a Jazza Dickens fan. Like I thought Jazza Dickens was good. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. Wouldn't you say at this stage of their career, at the current version, Jordan Gill is better than Jazza Dickens?
Yes, I do. Jordan Gill is also, though, not a 130-pounder. And like I was just saying, I thought he was up in rounds before Zelfa. Zelfa had like no activity. I hate betting on guys that wouldn't let their hands go. Zelfa was not letting his hands go. He was getting outworked by Jordan Gill. And he's the bigger, stronger fighter. Eventually, I believe he stopped him with a body shot. But I'm like, you're sweating. I'm in the 10th round, whatever round. I'm like, is he going to hurt him yet? Am I going to lose a bet? Like, I just don't personally like laying that type of money on a guy that, what's going on? I don't know.
Boomtown, Canadian friend, wants to know if it's safe to bet the mortgage on Abdullah Mason. I would say yes. Abdullah is the best prospect. I want to get your thoughts on that. I think Abdullah Mason is the best prospect in boxing. Let's say under the age of 22 with less than 20 fights. So, he's -1,600. So you're gonna have to bet the mortgage to make any money on this, Boomtown. But I think Abdullah is taking a step backwards in competition. He got dropped in his last fight, even though he scored a second-round knockout. He got dropped twice, actually, in the opening round. But what are your thoughts on Abdullah Mason? Is Boomtown safe to bet the mortgage on him?
I bet the mortgage on it. I got him in a bunch of parlays. I love Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason, I mean, you said it perfectly. If he's not the best prospect in all of boxing, he's got to be top 3. He's that, I usually think I have a good read on where a ceiling might be for a fighter, but this kid, I don't know how good can he be? I don't know. I don't know how good he is because
I'm not trying to call anyone the next Terrence Crawford, but to me, he looks like the next Terrence Crawford. I'm not trying to do that to anyone, but like that's what I get from him. Yeah.
You know what? So the vibe of the Terrence Crawford, not that he fights similar to Terrence Crawford, but it's the mentality, right? Yeah. It's one of those things you either have or you don't. Where if he'll have his foot on your neck and he won't let off, and that's what Crawford does. Where Crawford has a kill switch, he has that trick. Like you either have it or you don't. Abdullah Mason has that, and a lot of fighters don't have that. Abdullah Mason has a switch on him, and plus he has the athletic abilities, and he has the boxing ability. Like he has the ring IQ. I mean, I can go on and on about this kid. I've been high on him for years. The same thing I said about Bam Rodriguez. I was very high on Bam, and that's ending up to be a good prophecy of mine. You know, like
I'll tell you
there's
a
certain
quick
fighters
story.
that you can have stock in.
Yeah.
Bam would be one. Abdullah Mason, you wouldn't want to put stock in them early.
I've covered Bam since he was an amateur. Like I've known Bam like and Josh there like since they were kids. And when Bam was fighting Quadras for his first title, Chris Algieri and Hans from Boxing Insider was sitting next to me on press row. And Chris Algieri goes, "How good is Bam? Like how good is he really?" And I was like, he's the best fighter I've ever seen come out of Texas in all the years I've been doing this. And that includes Errol Spence. And Chris Algieri laughed out loud at me. 3 years later, I'm like, I told you so. Like, Bam was special. Bam was different. His feet, his speed, his power, like he was just different. And you can see that right away. Like, all you had to do was, well, and I get Bam came up 105, 108 pounds. No one really had their eye on him like that.
But I like Abdullah in this fight. Yeah. I mean, he shouldn't drop a round or two, especially who's he fighting? Manuel Jaimes, right? He fought Rolly and lost almost every round against Rolly.
Lost every round.
Yeah, I mean, is Abdullah Mason better than Rolly? I think so.
So that was actually my next two questions, right? So I want to give you two questions just to kind of put a metric out there. At 135, if Abdullah Mason fought Kid Austin next, who wins?
Oof. I mean, I would Abdullah Mason.
Right? And I don't even like because I love Kid Austin, but Abdullah Mason beats him.
Yeah, I've always said that. The thing with Kid Austin is he's just so explosive and so athletic. That's really what he has going for him. But he makes a lot of the same mistakes over and over again. That's what got him caught in his last fight. I mean, Abdullah Mason is just a much more well-rounded fighter.
Abdullah Mason or who was it? Keyshawn Davis.
Yes, that's close.
But that's Keyshawn's fighting for a world title. That's what I'm saying. That's where Mason is at 20 years old. Like that's where he's at.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Keyshawn's got more frame on him. I just feel like Keyshawn's just more of a man right now. I feel like where Abdullah's still coming up. But I think that's a very, very close competitive fight.
That's a really good fight. I would probably lean Keyshawn. I can't get a gauge on him. I love Keyshawn, and sometimes he looks spectacular to me, and sometimes he looks ordinary. His last fight with Gustavo Lemos came in like 7 pounds overweight, and I think no-showed. And I think people are overestimating him a little bit because of that last performance.
Agree.
If Keyshawn, and I'd probably lean towards Abdullah Mason, but that's really close. But that's my point. Like, he's already arrived. Like, Abdullah is what if he fought a guy like Sam Noakes or Raymond Moyataya, a front-footed guy like that? He would destroy those guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, these are all top 10. These are all top 10. That's what I'm saying. I mean, to be honest, Sam Noakes, I think Sam Noakes and Raymond Moyataya, they're better than Davis-Berinchyk. So if you're going to ask me the question, if Abdullah Mason was going to fight Davis-Berinchyk, I'd pick Abdullah Mason all day. I mean, just to keep this, for example, Davis-Berinchyk fought Mendy, who Sam Noakes just fought. Sam Noakes didn't drop a round and almost stopped him a few times. I mean, Davis-Berinchyk dropped rounds to this guy. So Sam Noakes is good. Sam Noakes is very good. But he's not Abdullah Mason.
But that's what I'm saying. These guys are already in the top 10. These guys are already knocking on the door of a title shot, and we agree that Abdullah is already a level ahead of these guys. And that Muscle said in the contender.
Chat.
Yeah. Muscle said in the chat that Abdullah is a generational talent. I agree. Like, he's going to be, him and Bam are going to be the fighters that are going to carry that next generation. I agree with that. Hey there. Miran says, what's up? 79 Pro says the odds for Catterall fight to go the distance are plummeting very fast. It went from 210. Wait, Catterall is at minus 500. What book is that? 79 Pros. I got Catterall minus 255.
What, to go the distance? No.
Catterall money line over Barbosa.
Oh, money line.
What do you like Catterall in that fight? I think Catterall washes him, dominates the fight. What are your thoughts on Catterall and Barbosa?
Man, that's funny. Something strange is telling me that Barbosa might win this.
You think so?
And let me tell you something. I talk to so many UK people. I'm going on a lot of UK channels, and everyone's on Jack Catterall. Yeah, I don't see it with Jack Catterall. I really don't. Not that I see it with Arnold Barboza because I
I was
don't
gonna say
either.
I don't
But
see
I
it with
think they're
Barboza.
so. I think they're so equal, and they both can put up such dud performances that I think the size of Barboza will have somewhat of a size advantage, height, and a little bit of a reach advantage. I think even in the UK, I think there's a chance it might go to the scorecards and be like, oh, I think Barboza won this. I really do.
And you think they'll give Barboza a decision?
Well, it's
You
for an
thought
eliminator. It's an
Catterall.
eliminator, right? So
Yeah, it's an
look,
eliminator. Yeah.
Catterall.
Well,
I thought Catterall
it's
probably
for the
lost to
interim. It's
O'Hara
actually
Davies. Catterall didn't look good against. This is what was telling, and I'll never forget this. Richardson Hitchens said like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was spot on when Richardson Hitchens was a contender, become a prospective contender. Jack Catterall just fought Jorge Linares. And Richardson Hitchens came out and go, "Let me tell you something about Jack Catterall. You cannot call yourself a 140-pound contender and you're dropping 4 rounds to Jorge Linares. Like, and Jorge Linares was pretty much retired. It should have never even touched 140 pounds. And Jack Catterall was dropping rounds to him. So I was like, damn, Hitchens might be right on that because Hitchens wouldn't lose a round to Jorge Linares at 140.
To be fair,
So
Devin Haney dropped 4 rounds at least, and that
at
wasn't. I mean,
135, and it was also
it was at
more. I mean,
135,
yeah.
and he was younger. But I'm saying Devin Haney's Devin Haney, and he dropped rounds to.
Yeah, but this was a lot more recent. Now I get it, and this is at 140. I mean, okay, Devin Haney now, or Devin Haney a year ago at 140, how he looked against Regis, he's not dropping
Yeah.
around to Jorge Linares.
Not
at
a minute.
140.
Yeah, he's not losing
Not
a
at
single minute.
140.
I agree.
No.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Catterall, so this is the thing, like, Catterall didn't look good against Regis. I thought he was losing like 4 or 5 rounds there. The scorecards didn't do Regis justice. And he got knocked down. So if you want to go off momentum off their last fights.
I wanted to ask you about that. How did you have the Regis Catterall fight? I thought it was the judges had it wide. I mean, I thought Catterall definitely won. We agree on that, right?
He did.
Catterall,
He pulled it out in the second half. Regis faded, and he got knocked down.
The judges had it wide though, right? Like 116, 109, things like that. Like they had it super wide. It was.
They did.
Yeah,
they had it super wide. Yeah, but it wasn't though. So this is the thing. If we get honest judges in there, like this is how I look at it. Jack Catterall did not look good against Regis. And Regis is, in my opinion, respectfully, washed up. His feet are stuck in mud when he fights. He's 35, 36, contemplating retirement. And Catterall did get dropped. Barboza just looked the best I've ever seen him. I thought that was the best Barboza I ever saw. The momentum right now coming off the Ramirez win, momentum's a real thing in boxing. How you looked in your last fight is a real thing in boxing. So if people say, "Oh, Jack Catterall's got to be a slam dunk," right? I'm like, I don't know. Something's telling me Barboza might rise to the occasion. Yes, I know Sean McComb, and I agree. Sean McComb, I had Sean McComb in that fight. Yeah, and he's a southpaw. But Jack Catterall is not 6'1" or whatever he is. Jack Catterall does not have that reach. Jack Catterall does not fight the same as Sean McComb. And I'm guaranteed Barboza is not going to have the same game plan that he did against McComb. So I have to weigh into that. I have to recognize that, but I don't think it's going to be the same fight.
I want to get into the card. And I want your thoughts, your predictions on the top ranked card. I'm going to start with that. And tomorrow I'm going to do the UK card, but I want to start with the top ranked card. We already gotten some of this. Nico Ali Walsh, Juan Carlos Gura. No upset here, right? Nico Ali Walsh should carry this.
I didn't even tape his opponent. I mean, I'm done with Nico Ali. Yeah. I don't know.
He's fighting some. Top rank is saying we're done with him without saying that we're done with him. He's fighting a nobody. I found one fight on him on YouTube. This is not a good fighter. Juan Carlos Gura is an opponent level guy.
Okay.
He fought.
What's the odds on him?
Minus 700 or so. Minus 700. Yeah. Is it? I would take Walsh. I think this is a safe bet. He's going to have the judges on his side too. He's the top ranked guy.
Is it an 8-rounder? Is he doing 8 rounds?
I believe so. Let me confirm that. It's 6. It's 6.
Jesus Christ, I'm a 6-rounder.
Yeah. I think you're safe if you bet on Nico Ali Walsh. This might be a decent bet to throw to your parlay. Mason and Jaimez, we talked about this. No way there's an upset in this, right? Mason rolls in this fight probably by stoppage.
It better be. Yeah.
We don't have a book yet on the stoppage. Yeah, on props. But I would strongly consider Abdullah Mason by stoppage in this, but definitely on the money line. Great bet to add to your parlay. Here's what I want your take on. And I'm thinking about rolling the dice on an upset here. Vito Melnicki, who I'm not impressed with at all, but does have everyone on his side. His dad's famous matchmaker, against Connor Coyle, who I think is kind of underrated. Connor Coyle has given real pros real fights, and I don't think Melnicki is impressive at all. What are your thoughts on a possible upset here?
So first, I think it's a 50-50 fight, and I've heard your rule before. I think it's a good rule that you go by in 50-50 fights. But my take on the fight itself, I mean, Vito, I think this is his second fight with Top Rank. I was at his debut at Top Rank.
Yeah.
Where I thought he looked flat. He had no adjustments. The crowd was quiet there. They weren't, because he's from the North Jersey area, so they were at the Garden. And I mean, I thought he looked horrible, to be honest with you. So are we gonna get the same Vito? I think now this is at 160. He used to campaign on 154. And Connor Coyle, I remember him. He was on. He fought recently in the UK on an outdoor card. Who do you fight? This black kid named Kyle, and he
Kyle Lamoti. Yeah, Kyle Lamoti.
Yes, he was on a crazy. It was the McKenna Law undercard, I think. Yeah, it was a crazy. That main event was a crazy fight. But I remember watching Connor Coyle. I'm like, oh, he's got good boxing skills. And I'm thinking now when they announced this fight, I said, I don't think there's much that separates Vito and Connor Coyle. I really don't. I think maybe skill-wise, Vito's a little bit sharper, but I feel like Connor Coyle's a little more gritty. So then you got the will over skill battle there. I think it could absolutely be an upset there. I think, I wouldn't be betting Vito. I would say dog or pass.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the dice on it. If I'm gonna place a bet on this, I always say, like I said, plus 300 or more. All you have to do is get 1 out of 4, and you make money. So if you get 1 out of 4 in a 50-50 fight where you're getting plus 300, just do it. It's going to pay off more often than not. 79 Pros, who I respect, says, Gary, you're going to make some serious bucks with that upset. I'm going to throw some money. I'm not going to throw a ton of money on it, but I'm going to bet on the upset here. I think my only concern is the judging. That's it. Like, I think Connor Coyle is going to win the round. I just don't know if the judges are going to give it to him. That's my concern. You got a North Jersey fighter, so a fairly local guy fighting in New York. Although New York isn't a place that we necessarily, like Texas, right, where we associate horrible hometown decisions. So I feel all right with this. I'm going to throw some money on Connor. It's not going to be in my lock. This is not a lock. I'm not telling everyone to go out and do this. I'm putting some money on Connor Coyle.
You know what would be good too? I think a draw. What is this? I could see 4 rounds apiece. Is this an 8-rounder?
Oh, a draw would be a good bet. Yeah, I don't have a book on a draw, but
I could see this being real close. Or like a split draw, either way. I could see this. I don't think Vito's dominating this.
No. I wanted Jared Big Baby Anderson, and I don't know this guy he's fighting. I haven't gotten the tape yet. Marios Kolias.
Yeah,
are you familiar?
Yeah, he's a Greek fighter. I mean, he seemed deep. He reminded me a little bit of Rehan Mary, like a little stocky, kind of basic, but somebody that Baby just has superior footwork, hand speed. The question mark, obviously, we're all going to be asking is he shot from Bacoli? Like, he did take a lot of damage. Is he going to be gun shy? Of course. And is your chin going to be in check? Because that's always my big worry with heavyweights or any fighter after they come off a pretty bad beating. Are you the same mentally and physically? So this should be a layup fight for Baby, but you never know. I took him though. I'm rolling the dice on him.
Is Mario Kolias, is he a guy that's going to chin check you? Is he a puncher? Is it like, did Tom Lane give him a soft touch, or is this a guy that can hit?
I mean, he's got good body work from the tape that I saw, but he's slow, and you got to be in front of him that's the thing with Anderson, Bacoli wore him down and he didn't give him much room to spit. But typically, Anderson doesn't stay in front of you. He's really good with angles, pivoting, and the athletic burst. So I think he'll be all right here. I don't think he's going to stand toe-to-toe with this dude. He'll touch and move.
In the co-main event, we got Xander Zayas against Slower Spoomer. Xander Zayas at minus 750. I'm a big Zayas guy. I think Zayas really developed. I think he's a dog in there. I think his skills are underrated. I think everything he throws is hard. I'm a big Xander Zayas fan. I think this is easy money, but let me get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I wasn't a big Zay, probably like the last 3 years, but he was also very young.
He's very
Anyways,
young.
my point is he's improved very much. He's matured. He's become a very good round winner. And I was very impressed with his last fight. I think it was with Damian Sosa. He pitched pretty much a shutout.
Yeah.
I thought he was really going to get tested in that fight, and he passed with flying colors. I was very impressed. So, pretty much what you're saying, he's just taken off. This is a tricky fight, though. Swallow Spoomer he's not a scrub. I mean, I watched a few of his fights.
He's not a scrub, but give me a path to victory for him. He's got skills. He's a decent boxer. He can't hit with Zayas. Zayas is bigger. He's a better athlete. Give me a way Spoomer wins this fight.
Yeah, so the way Spoomer would have to win this fight is to make it muddy. He would have to drag him into what Spoomer likes to fight. He's not so much of a boxer or a boxer puncher. He's a boxer puncher, but he really wants to. He's heavy on the front foot and he likes to trade. So he would have to lure Zayas into a battle like that. But I mean, I thought that was going to happen with Damian Sosa, and it didn't.
You'd have to outland him because he's not really Spoomer's not really a puncher like that. He's a front foot guy, but he's not a big puncher. He's not going to end Zayas' night with one shot, right? So now he's going to sit and have a firefight with a guy who's a much bigger puncher than him. Yeah,
I'm just saying his path to victory, and I know a lot of people don't know. I mean, it's not a common.
It's not a name.
Yeah, it's not a name. He fights down in Germany, and he doesn't get a lot of U.S. or U.K. broadcasts, so you wouldn't know who he was. But he's not bad. And I think these odds are somewhat close, just to reflect it, because most of the time you're seeing like minus 1,600 or greater for a Zayas opponent.
So you like
the odds actually went down? I think on Zayas.
You think this is a real? You like Xander, but you think this is a real fight. You don't think this is a
I think it's a tough. Yeah, I don't think it's. I mean, let's just say I respect the opponent.
There you go. Then the last thing, the main event, obviously, and I know how you're gonna feel about this already. Berinchyk and Keyshawn. I like Keyshawn, and I'm tempted to put him by stoppage. Did the props on this drop yet or no? Yes, we got all right. Keyshawn, this just dropped today. I like the under 10.5 at plus 225. Yeah, your thoughts
Pablo
on that?
Said the same thing. I don't think the German is gonna. Yeah, I saw that same fight, the Spoomer Pratt fight, but Keyshawn.
I don't want to say easily, but clearly Keyshawn. But my bigger question is, do you like the over or the under on this?
What's the over-under set at? 10.5?
10.5, and the under, the stoppage puts you at 225. The over is at minus 330.
Gary, man, it's tough to pick a stoppage against somebody that's never been stopped before. I don't know if he's ever been down before. It's really tough to want to lay money down on, but he is 36. He's never been in with somebody like Keyshawn, who's pretty heavy-handed. And Keyshawn's another one. We talk about Zayas going up. I mean, Keyshawn, look at this kid. I had questions about him after the Nahir Albright fight, and he's just completely matured and really excelled as a contender, soon hopefully to be champion. With that being said, I think a 9-12 stoppage is definitely possible. I think he wants to make a statement too. I don't think he's one of those guys like a Shakur that will just cruise.
Keyshawn by stoppage pays plus 200. Would you be into that? Or would you just say take him on the money line, put him in your parlay, and rest easy?
Yeah, I'm more of a say. I mean, I have him all. I took him. He's a big bet for me, Keyshawn.
Yeah.
So I nothing drives me crazier than getting the right fighter to win, but losing by method.
So, yeah.
Because.
All right, so if we want,
I could see both, right? I could see him winning like a clear UD, or I could say, you know what? Wow, he
Late
really,
stoppage.
yeah, he
Warmed
really
down.
overcame, or even an
Yeah.
earlier stoppage. Who knows how good? Like that's the thing. Who maybe he's one of these guys that just rises to the occasion. It's his first title fight. He wants to make some noise. He wants to get that big tank fight. And how are you going to do that? You knock out Denny's in the first 6 rounds. Like everyone's talking about you now. Like Keyshawn's that dude. So I think he knows that. I mean, I don't know. Who knows how good he really is.
All right, so let's put a parlay together using just this card. Let's see how good of odds that we can get on what we think is easy money. If we wanted to parlay, let's say make a 4-leg parlay. Keyshawn money line, Xander money line. Do we get Anderson by stoppage? No, we don't have props on Anderson by stoppage. Anderson by stoppage, and then Abdullah Mason. We're not going to get crazy odds on this, but it'll be. Let me check it. Are we good with this this parlay right here? Abdullah Mason money line, Jared Anderson money line, Xander Zayas money line, and Keyshawn Davis money line. Are we good with that?
Yeah, there's probably not much, right?
Let's see what it is.
Well, Keyshawn's still a good price on DraftKings because Caesars got him at -900 right now.
So if we hit this 4-leg parlay, which looks like a guarantee, right? Keyshawn, Jared, Big Baby, Abdullah Mason, and
you know who you're missing? Do they have Rohan Polanco? Do they have odds for him?
Nah.
He's fighting on Top Rank.
Yeah.
Rohan Polanco. I like Rohan Polanco. He's on that card too. They're probably not released yet. I was gonna say he should probably be a lock.
This parlay gets us down, so we're just betting this card and not the UK card.
Yeah.
4-leg parlay -213. Not terrible, right?
No.
You good with this as a parlay? Abdullah Mason, Jared Anderson, Xander Zayas, Keyshawn all on the money line? You're good with that?
Yeah, I like that.
I'm good with that too. It's -213, so it's not terrible. Let me check my poll, and then we'll wrap this up. All right. Oh, Zelva Barrett's clearing him in the poll. Zelva Barrett has 58% of the vote here. Oscar Durate has 42. So you guys like Barrett on the money line better than Durate on the money line at the same -750. All right.
I could see that.
I could see that too. All right. Any final thoughts on the Top Rank card?
Yes, for me? No.
Yeah, I'm asking you, yeah.
No, just now I kind of wish they had the Rohan Polanco odds up because he's on the Top Rank card. But
We'll wait. Sometimes they add things as we get closer, so we'll wait on that. But right now, that's a full like parlay that pays -213, so it's not terrible.
No, that's not.
And everything there seems to be easy money. Like I don't see anything there that I really feel is risking it.
No, I'm trying to think what could. No, and then the veto. I really think that could be a draw or upset.
I'm gonna the money I'm gonna win on the parlay. I'm gonna then take that winning and bet that on Connor Coyle at +300. So I'm either gonna So I'm either gonna have a great weekend or I'm gonna break even, right? Because I'm gonna hit that parlay. That parlay is gonna hit, and I'm gonna take that money that I'm gonna win on that and bet that on Connor Coyle.
But that's the same, but that's the Top Rank card. How are you gonna do that?
Well, I'm assuming I'm winning. Yeah, I'm assuming I'm hitting that part. I suppose it could be a really bad day, but that parlay's hitting. Keyshawn, Xander, they're not losing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because it's on Friday. I thought maybe you were thinking it was the next day he was fighting Saturday. But
no. I'm assuming I'm hitting that parlay. I'm hitting that parlay. That's
no, I like that. I hope so. I have pretty much the same things, very similar. So
you wanna do this every week, Chilltown? Want to pick a card? Each one card?
I'll try. Let me see. Yeah, man, I got small kids, so
I get. I got 3 kids too. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it's but I like chopping it up, the boxing. I mean, I do all the tape myself anyway during the week, so whenever you want to jump on, I could discuss it. Maybe you see something I don't, or I see something you don't, and then find something better.
This has been a pleasure. It's always good having you on. Hopefully we can do this again. So
I'll see you in the Patreon now. So
all right,
I'll log in there. All right, brother. Have a good night, man. I'll see you.
You too, Chilltown. All right, y'all. So Zelvin Barrett, you guys like Zelvin Barrett better than Durante at the same odds. So I'm going to wrap this up. I will be back tomorrow, and we'll hit up the UK card with the Saturday card, and we'll spend some time on that. But it's February 11th, 2025, from Texas to the world. Thank you, and God bless.
Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3D Boxing is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.